Hello there, now my name is Rich. For the first time you see my channel, is a review of cartoon series, anime series, also be computer random, and today will be an animated review called Seis Mands from Netflix. Now, Seis Mands has this kind of style, that kind of 80s, kind of grimy kind of film that you feel this belong in the 80s. How the dialogue, how the close they were, how the film kind of burns here and there. You also have little spots and a little grainy kind of feel. Like, yes, this is the 80s kind of feeling. And it feels something like Tarantino wants to make a movie of something like this. This is how it looked like in animated form. Anyway, the whole story is about these three orphans who has their master slash father who adopts them and over the years trained to be martial artists till one day he got killed. But the question is why he got killed and what purpose, and that's the mystery of the first season of this anime. These three kids try to find why the purpose, and you think it's called this main villain called the orphan maker, this huge muscular guy who is a gangbanger who has his own thugs trying to kind of do something questionable, almost magic, like they feel out of their own range. But it has more lore. This guy called the Orphan Maker, who's the main leader, decides to sort of make sort of sacrifices or some sort of taboo magic that he kind of does not grasp, but he needs to grasp it to understand and to help his own mother to come alive, or immortal in this case. But the sick twisted thing is the mother, the witch, who is basically trapped in this sort of kind of like a mating statue that she's there for the rest of her life till his son figures out how to save her, become immortal. But the twist is her mom really doesn't want to be saved. I mean, she wants to be saved, but nothing like this. You see this sort of messed up love his son has to his mother, that she want to save her, want to protect her, to make her strong again. But I love that kind of dynamic, that you understand how the orphan maker is so messed up. In fact, he has no human emotion. The only thing he's attached to being human emotion is with his own mother. But it's so disturbed. What I love what he can do just to make her alive is so wow. It's just kind of fear. I mean, every time he just stepped in the photo or any direction you see him, you feel this kind of deep darkness, this humongous threat. But the interesting thing is how he's connected to the master of the three orphans. They trying to find out why this happened. Why did they try to find the master in these creatures who are magical of her own mother, trying to kill them and kill the town. But this is the interesting part. It's just so many twists here and there that you won't predict. For example, there's one thing, for a better example, the first episode, you find this little orphan kid trying to steal food to survive. They accidentally meet this other person, and the fact, oh, this person got to help this kid. No, he doesn't. He does it completely twisted way, like, whoa, you wouldn't expect it, but the orphan kid does something that affects the story later on. They come back to it to see, oh, this kid had connection to this other orphans. This is the reason why they want to help, or reason why to do certain things. I'm trying to be super vague here to not to spoil that much, but it has a lot of things that your mouth drop, especially all the death, the goriness. And I love that they have a sort of line that kind of goriness, like there's one point they kill children or kill people, the storyline they stop, instead of showing you, they just cut it off and come back to see the effects, to give you more effective what this character does, because you see him, this other character, murder so many people. You need to see it again, decide to not show it because you know the threat he really is. You don't need to show it. That's so interesting how they chose sort of direction of this kind of animated film or series, I mean. But this is, I highly recommend to watch because it's so many things that you just don't expect, especially how the music's so well made for this type of genre. The characters are so relatable and interesting, and that's the thing. The characters, our main three protagonists, called Isabella, Jesus, and Silencio, the three orphan childs, they have character but they leave that to secondary thing because they usually focus on the reaction in the situation that put them. I think the most kind of respected character development is Silencio, and you see his sort of development, how he's so kind of like edgelord, but of good reason that you can understand his anger, his frustration that he needs to become this wild animal to kill the people who murdered his family. You feel and understand why he needs vengeance. On top of all this, Silencio doesn't really talk because it explains they removed his tongue so he's able to talk. You see the animation, how he reacted, his emotions, all about his response of his movements. That itself is just interesting to see because this character can't talk. It's just his reactions and how he reacts to other people make his statement, makes who he really is. Now, his sister is a little different. She can talk, but she has her own kind of issues. But it's one of those characters that reacts to everything. She got the first one to get that, the first one to get a demand, the first one to act. But anything else, you don't know is about the family struggle. You don't know much a development of her. But you can see her sort of struggling who she really is and the answer of his father's death to understand his father used to be a cruel person or a kind person. And that's the thing she kind of struggles in this animated series. On a final sibling called... Now, Jesus, he's the big guy, the clown, the one who doesn't take serious. But when his father dies, you see him sort of broken, trying to sort of control himself. The only way to sort of control is start drinking hardcore. But in the tense moment, he does crack a joke one too, just to release the tension and help his own siblings to stop fighting and unite together. Now I talk about two more characters. There's one called a DA Ancient. He's the one who basically how to describe him is kind of like Black Dynamite, but lowered down. I mean, he's like toned down to fit the sort of genre where he actually is. But he is just sort of the kind of black stereotype. He's big, he's strong, he's sexy, he can help. Yeah, he's pretty generic, but sort of likable. He's the one sort of introduced to see what's going on in this small town. Now our final character is the cop of the whole town. And she's the one who kind of calm and trying to figure out the situation and understand all this magic craziness is going on and trying to connect it and help the siblings solve their murder. How to describe her is she's just kind of calm and collected, but at the same time you don't know enough about her to describe her, but she is very helpful of the trio and the DA agent. Now my final thoughts about this anime is just superb. I mean, everything, the music, the animation, the respect of the 80s kind of grind kind of film, it all in here. It's so perfect. Anything wrong with this? The only thing is wrong is except if you like this kind of animation, that kind of goriness, violence, supernatural kind of flavor. I mean, kind of flavor is kind of Tarantino kind of styles, like Once Upon a Mexico kind of deal. Yeah, that's kind of gory kind of film. Yeah, that's if you don't like kind of type of things, don't watch it. But you like it, or you don't get bothered kind of stuff that he shows. Yeah, watch it. I highly recommend it. And nothing wrong with it. They don't have pacing issues. Everything is just so impactful. I mean, impactful. It has so much things happening in each episode. Anything you think is just something minor, you actually come out with something bigger on the very end. Yeah, it's something you don't expect, and I think that's the best part of it, the unexpected. I can't really shout how good this anime really is. I highly recommend to watch this. I got nothing else to say. Just stick for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.